and welcome to another episode of Oh, She's Funny. This week, I'm delighted to be talking to someone you have thought, oh, she's funny, when you saw her on Orange is the New Black or Another Period or 1,000 other guest starring roles on your favorite TV shows and movies. It's the hilarious Beth Dover is here.
Hi,
Hi,
it's so nice to
friend.
see you, friend.
I'm so excited that you're here. I'm a friend of yours. I'll call myself that, but a huge fan, just a fangirl. I think you're so funny. So I'm just
I feel the same way.
thrilled. That's so
Do
nice.
you remember where we met?
I feel like I don't, which is so
No,
stupid.
but I do. I remember.
Remind
And
me.
it was at, and when I say I remember, I actually don't know whose birthday party it was, but I remember your outfit.
Ooh, what was I wearing?
We were at the chateau. This sounds so LA. We were at the chateau.
Yes, I was.
And it was, they have those like apartments you can rent
Yep.
party. I don't know whose party it was, someone who could do that. And you were there and you were wearing suspenders. And
Yeah.
I want to say a bow tie or
I
something.
don't do a
Yeah,
bow tie, but
it was like there was something going on in the neck area though. You
maybe
weren't
some
wearing like an
layered
ascot.
necklaces? No.
No, maybe it was necklaces.
Might have
But
been necklaces. I usually do suspenders over a t-shirt, so
maybe that was it. But I
that
remember
was a
being like,
look.
that's a cool look.
Thank
And I
you.
want to
My
know this
goodness.
person. And now I know you.
And now and well, I remember when I became a huge fan was when you were on the show Burning Love.
Oh my gosh.
And I
Yeah.
said, "Who is this
Who's
incredible
this crazy
treasure?"
bitch?
This woman is going hard, and
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
be near her.
That's the only thing I can do. I gotta go hard. I
That
love Burning
was
Love. That was so fun.
I mean, anything that's making fun of reality TV, which is my happy place, is so
By the way, it
fun.
is, and that show I loved so much because it's barely a parody. Like it is just a little bit off center
Y-
from what the
Yeah,
actual show was.
you can't even, yeah, that and the Housewives one that
Oh
our
yes,
friends do as well. Also,
mhm.
just a tiny
just,
bit left. You
just a
can't,
skosh of a
you
parody.
don't need to do much, but it's
Yeah.
still very funny, and I
I
need
mean, I
it.
keep telling Erica we got to do some type of like perimenopausal version. We got to let's just keep it going.
Well,
Get the band back together.
there's the Golden Bachelor now.
Exactly.
I'm a huge fan of.
I
Did you do it?
started to watch it with the
Uh-oh.
guy, the gentleman,
Yeah, Jerry
and
with a G.
Jerry with a G. Isn't okay.
Gary.
Gary. I mean, that would be, yeah.
It's
Anyway,
Gary,
all
sir,
right.
but live your life
Sir,
how you want.
sir, it's Gary, but okay. Yeah, I started to watch it and then I don't know, I kind of fell off, but I probably should have gotten back on the horse.
I was obsessed. I found it to be so sweet. All the women were so nice to each other, rooting for each other. I thought
Because they've
Gary,
had a life, they've lived
they've had a
life.
life. They're like, let's not be so
Yeah.
petty with each other. Like
And it's just
we're
a
all
dude.
having real
Yeah.
feelings. We
Yeah.
can, they've been married, they've been widowed, they've been 100 other things.
Yeah.
The woman, now I'm going to forget her name, but the woman that's going to be the bachelorette seems like a real charmer, and I can't wait. I hope she finds love.
Are they still together? The from the last season, the Jerry with the G.
Well, this will surprise no one. They are not
Yeah,
together.
they were not together.
They did get married.
Oh, oh,
They
oh,
got married for 3 months. They got married on television. It was
oh,
a bachelor special that was aired, and we got to
yeah.
watch it. And then 3 months later, they were divorced. I don't think he picked the right one. I was
So
not
is
rooting.
the Bachelorette who's the Bachelorette this time? Was she like the second, not
She
second
wasn't the
runner up, but
second, she wasn't the runner-up. It's such a beauty contest.
it's ridiculous.
She had to leave early. Maybe there was like 10 women left, and she had like a good, she was looking good, but something happened with her family, and she was like, I have to go be with my daughter. She needs me. And it was like, oh no, I think her name's Joan. It was like, oh man, Joan has to go. And she's just like this beautiful woman. She seemed very nice, and now she gets to be the bachelorette.
And Joan is the perfect Bachelorette name for the Golden Bachelorette, Joan.
I think it's Joan. I might be wrong. Uh,
Um, I love it so much.
anyway, we're not here
And
to
you
talk
also,
about The
right now, you're
Bachelor.
also into, I was noticing on your Instagram, some J-Lo and Ben stuff going
I'm
on.
very into the J-Lo and Ben situation.
Yeah.
Something about the rekindled romance really got me,
Yeah.
like that they were engaged. Do you know that their history? They were engaged
Oh,
20
yeah.
years ago, broke up 3 days before getting married,
Mhm.
and now 17 years later, remarried or finally married and now divorced.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's sad. It's really sad. But then did you post something that now she's like with A-Rod again?
Someone sent me that she's been spotted with A-Rod, and then someone else was like, "Hey, that's an old picture." So I had to post a
Oh.
correction.
Oh, okay.
So
Like,
that's
what is this girl doing?
I was spazzed out that she went
Yeah,
she went back to another ex.
can't
I was
do
like,
that.
"No.
No, she
Who
can
are
no
your
longer do that.
friends?
Yes.
What's happening?"
Yeah. She's
But
surrounded by yes men. She can't do that.
I think we're at least okay. We're not with a new ex or an old ex.
Mhm.
But I want her to be happy.
Sure. I want everyone to be happy.
Sure. Are you I don't know.
I mean,
Seems like
what's
you're
happy? You know,
wow. Okay. Yeah. What's
it's deep
happy? Who
here.
are we? Where
Who
are
are
we?
we? What does it all mean?
Okay. This is deep. This is
That's a
not what I
different podcast.
expected.
This is a whole different podcast,
Not
guys.
why I invited you here. I usually like to find out if you knew that you were a funny person as a child. So
Well,
growing up was little Bethy getting laughs and thought, I want to do this.
here's what I'll say. Little Bethy was an Air Force brat who moved around every 2 years of her life. And
Okay.
sometimes that meant I was cool. Sometimes that meant I was a loser. Sometimes that meant different things regionally. Sometimes
Right.
I was in South Korea. So it definitely made me very adaptable to new
Mm-hmm.
situations. And because you're of that age, you want to be liked. So you want to try to figure out your way in. But I don't know, honestly, like I just wanted to be an actor. So I didn't know that I was funny until I started. Well, the one time I think I was maybe funny is I was auditioning for um, my college, their musical. And
Mm-hmm.
it was I was a freshman in college, and I decided to sing High Flying Adored from Evita in front of all of the faculty. And I could do it. I was in Evita in community
Okay.
theater back in the
All
day,
right.
and
This
we
is
had our accompanist who played it an octave higher than I could sing it, and
you were surprised by this.
I was surprised by this, and I just tanked the
Uh-oh.
audition, and I was so sad, and I ran back to my roommates in college at the University of Florida, go Gators, and I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm really really upset, and my roommates are like, I mean, they feel bad for me, but they're also kind of laughing a little bit. Like it's funny to them. Like my pain is funny. Like I found early on that sometimes when I cried, for real cried, people would laugh. So I'm not always funny on purpose. I just think people laugh at me sometimes.
When you're for
So
real crying, people are laughing.
kind of, yeah. So that's when I realized like, oh,
What
maybe
a conundrum for
that's
you
a
to have to
conundrum.
live through.
Yeah. And then I went through Second City. I was, I moved here in 2003 and
What
decided,
got you to Second City? What made you go there?
I don't know. I just thought, well, I love, Saturday Night Live when I was a kid. I would like, this is
So you
dating,
knew there
but
was
I would
some
I would like
funny.
record VHS copies of like SNL, like random stuff like that. So
So
yeah,
there's a love for comedy that's been building as we're a
there's a
kid.
deep love for comedy, yes, for sure.
Okay, okay. But
But I
maybe
just
you
didn't.
didn't know
That's right.
that
Yeah,
you had it all in you.
I just thought I was like an earnest actor type. I don't know,
Why
but
are people laughing while I'm crying? I don't
mhm,
know. I'm
yeah,
gonna go take an improv class.
that's right. So I did, and I loved it. And I did that for 2 years, and I went through the whole program and met really great people who I'm still friends with to this day. And we did some like sketch group things around town in Hollywood
Sure. A
back
lot
in
of
the day.
wigs in the trunk.
We bought wigs and we performed, and it was awesome. And now when people ask me to do, like, I'll do monologues for ASCAD and things like that, but I've been asked to do improv late, in the past few years, and I get scared now because I feel like I don't know how to do this anymore. Isn't that funny? So the
You
past
feel rusty?
Oh, so rusty. I mean, I'm good at improvisation within like a scene that's already written, but for me to
Right?
like, go back and do like a Herald or something, oh my gosh, I don't think so. I don't think I could do it.
I
So
think
last,
you could.
really? Well,
Of
I lied.
course.
I lied and said I was out of town, and I wasn't out of town, and I wasn't busy, and I totally could have done it, but I was
To
scared.
fear one that conversation? Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
You
But the
robbed
next
the people. The
the
people would
next
love
time
to
it
see you do it.
happens, I have the warrior says yes. I have to say yes to these types of
You
things.
got to do it. Also, what are the consequences of a bad herald?
You're so right. I mean, it's ridiculous. Why am I scared of what
Of
is
what?
yeah,
Yeah, you're very funny. If anything, just start crying. People will laugh.
exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wish I could be fearless like Amy Sedaris.
Oh, speaking
Did you like
of,
that? Did you like that
I've
transition?
never had anyone do that before. That was incredible. What a guest. Beth just brought up the person we're here to talk about, who is Amy Sedaris.
That's right.
The
She's the one.
incredible,
Yeah. I mean, there's
the
no one better.
adorable, the weirdo,
Abs-
wonderfully weirdo.
Absolute eccentric. Yeah,
Um, did you start watching her on Strangers with Candy or
that's
okay.
right. That's where I first saw her. And I would say that like formed my sense of humor. I was like,
It's
what is this show? This is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
it's almost crazy that that show was allowed on.
Well,
It's
you know,
so weird and one I mean
in
it's the best.
oh yeah. I mean, it's like I rewatched a couple episodes before this. I
Mhm.
was just downstairs watching it and I thought, oh man, some of this is really on the edge and would not be on television today at all. But it's fucking hilarious. And she's fantastic. And that character is just, it's
Ugh.
really my favorite character ever, to the point where I have, on my steps, like the family wall with all the
Mhm.
pictures of everyone. And I went to this place in Los Feliz called Spitfire Girl,
Yeah, yeah, I've heard of this.
Hillhurst.
Uh-huh.
And there's this artist, his name's Matthew. I wrote it down, Eichelberger, because I wanted to give him a shout out. He
Matthew.
is, he's amazing. And he does all women comedians. And he creates these pieces of art of like Jennifer Coolidge or Joan Rivers or different people
Ooh.
like that. And when I went in there, I go, what am I looking at? And I have to show you the picture because it's my favorite thing ever. It's Jerry Blank. Oh, I wonder if you could even, but like, so it's, this is my wall, right? So it's
Oh
family
my
members, but
God.
then also, wait, hold on. But then also Jerry Blank with the TV.
Wow. It's like mounted on a
It's,
board and it's her face and then a
yeah,
tiny little TV above her. It's so cool.
yeah. So
It's
that's on the
beautiful
wall.
art.
That's on the wall with all my family pictures, to the point my son is like, why is this is creepy? Why is this up here? And I was like, I know.
This
Well,
is
mommy
creepy.
loves Amy Sedaris. And she's
Have you
family.
ever met Amy?
I've never met her. No,
That's
I've never.
so strange that you haven't come across.
I think there's certain people like I don't want to meet Oprah. I don't want to meet Ira Glass. Like there's
You
people
want to
that
meet Amy.
maybe I do.
You
I,
do. She's
that seems cool. Like
she's a normal person.
yeah.
Oprah's, I mean, also we want to meet Oprah, just in the Oprah sense, not in like,
I thought Oprah
no.
was there one time. At This was the first strike from 2007, and my
Uh-huh.
friend Dewan and I were, doing the strike, and we saw this woman, and at the time Oprah had these like large ring curls, and there
Mhm.
was hubbub, 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 and there was cameras, and Dewan and I looked at each other, and we were like, "Oh my gosh, it's Oprah!" And we start running and kind of crying at the same time. And then it turns out it was John Edwards, who was at the time running for president, and the woman was like his chief of staff or something.
Boo.
And I thought to myself, if that's my reaction to meeting Oprah, like I can't ever, like that's not acceptable. So I
Funny
did.
or Die used to have an office in the same building as the OWN network. And so
Oh,
sometimes Oprah would be in the building, and it was always like the elevators had to be like manned and you couldn't, certain things. But one day I was coming from the parking lot and she was outside the building talking on her phone, and I could, like, I just knew it was her from a distance. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna pass Oprah Winfrey. Like,
oh my God.
I'm gonna just breathe in the air, the energy. I'm gonna try to smell her. I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna like go sniff her, but I'm just gonna inhale as I walk by. And I could see there were like security guards watching me to make sure I didn't approach her.
Yeah. That you didn't
Um,
take a sniff because everyone's trying to take a sniff.
Everybody's trying to sniff her, and
Yeah.
I really didn't get a good sniff, but it was her. And that's
I,
as close as I got.
I really like Dave Grohl too. And one time my friend opened up for Dave Grohl and I went backstage. And this whole podcast is making me sound like a real creep. I swear I'm a normal person.
She's cool,
But
man.
I'm just a fan of certain people, and
Sure.
because of that, I don't want to meet them. So instead of meeting him, which I totally could have, I decided to walk past him and just sort of graze his t-shirt.
With your finger?
Yep, that's right. That's what I did. What a weirdo. What a fucking weirdo. Like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life?
I'm just gonna
Anyway, I'm
touch his t-shirt.
just going to touch that t-shirt and take a sniff.
One
I didn't.
time I was backstage at a screening at Tribeca Film Festival and Madonna walked in to the area
Stop.
and I got so nervous that I left. Like I
Yeah.
I walked like not into another room but into almost like a closet area that like was not an area to stand in,
Yep.
but I just was like, Madonna's here, clear the
Yeah.
space. I shouldn't be here.
Yep.
And so I just like went away and
I,
I just
I
like
100% understand that impulse. I'm like, how do I get under a table and avoid?
yeah, she shouldn't see me.
Nope. Nope.
I shouldn't bother her. That's Madonna.
Oh
Couldn't
my
handle it. Anyway, I have met Amy Sedaris. I've worked with her on Girls
God.
Five Eva.
Can you tell me everything? Start from the
She
beginning.
is a doll. She is wonderful. She is so sweet, so funny, great ideas, was ready like there was a scene where she was at a restaurant and for no reason she's like, "What if I just like put my fork in this steak and take it with me on the way out?" And I was like, "Yep, please do
Yep.
that."
Absolutely.
But just she played like a an ultra Christian mother, and she was just obviously great in like jean jacket with like bedazzled jean jacket, and she just like was so excited about like the costume and what weird things it had on it, and she just seemed like she loved acting, and well, we all do, and so she was so fun to work with because she was having fun.
I mean, that's really the overarching thing about her. I just think she enjoys herself in
Yeah,
every aspect of her life, like acting, comedy, shopping, you know,
crafting.
crafting, throwing a good dinner party, having bunnies just
We got
running
to
around
get
the
invited
house.
to one of these dinner parties.
Yes, please. I know. And
Yeah,
like the other thing I heard about her is that for a while, she just kept working as a waitress. Even after she had achieved a bunch of success, just kept working at the same place once a week for fun as a waitress.
for
Like
fun.
she just does what she wants to do. She just seems so free. You know what I mean? As an artist and as a person. I don't know.
Um, Amy Sedaris Fax, born in 1961 in Endicott, New York. Very Greek family. They all moved to North Carolina, and she
Mm-hmm.
felt odd being from a Greek family in the South. So she started to play dress up and put on plays for her family and started playing pranks and stuff. And she said that she really just loves people with problems, not just physical problems, but mental problems, like depressed people or killers. When I was growing up in North Carolina, I was determined to work at the local women's prison.
Wow.
So, if not successful in comedy, she might have been
She might have been,
some
yeah.
type of corrections officer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sweet little Amy. Get back in your cell.
Can you imagine what a great
Jerry Blank at your
yep,
prison.
with a little overbite? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
telling you what to do. Did you say you did Second City? Because she did Second City.
I did Second City here in LA, so I didn't do like the
She did the Chicago, but
did Chicago.
still you have that in common. That's a great opener for when you guys
Right.
meet.
For when we meet and I run under a table.
Yep. From the under the table, you shout, I did
Yes.
Second City, but in LA.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then
And
she's
so
like,
yes,
is someone
Andrew.
talking? And you're
Mm-hmm.
like, nope. And then you roll away.
I did, I guess technically I met her because I went and saw Jacqueline Novak's show, uh, On Your Knees, Fall on Your Knees, which is a great show in New York. And she was there with her frequent collaborator, Cola Scola, who I love, who I just
Oh,
saw on Mary.
did you
Fantastic.
just see that?
Oh, yeah. I
How
was shooting
was
in
it?
New Jersey. I was shooting a movie in New Jersey. And so anytime I'd get a day off, I'd just drive to New York City, see a play, and drive back. It
Oh,
was
that's
awesome.
cool. But
It
you
was so
got to
fun.
see O'Mary. I mean, I'm dying to see that. Was it
It
so
was
fun?
so fun, so funny. Cola Scola is great. They're amazing. It's ridiculous.
It
It's so
looks like
stupid funny, and yeah. It's great.
Just anytime I've seen them promoting it, just looks so great and
Yeah.
silly and just what is it?
Yes, exactly. The fact that it's on Broadway is pretty incredible because it's just it shouldn't necessarily be on Broadway, but it is, and it's fantastic that it is, you know.
Hell yeah.
No, they're great.
I wonder how they found each other. Do we know that?
I don't know because this was a few years ago and the two of them were together. They were sitting behind me at this play
Hmm.
and I was obsessed with her and I was like, I can't turn around and I will not turn around. But they did seem like very close friends, so I'm sure they've known each other for years.
She was
But
behind you and you didn't turn around.
well, I just couldn't. Once again, if I really, really like this person, a person, I don't really want to meet them.
That's hard too, because you
Yeah.
got no in there. You're literally just like, I'm going to introduce myself to you. And maybe that's
Yeah. Well, I would meet them in a scenario where I was working with them. I would
sure,
only
that
want to
that'd
meet
be
them.
ideal.
Yes, yeah. But I won't just come up to
You don't want
that.
to be a fan meeting them. You want to be a peer.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. I don't know.
All right.
Not that I can be a peer with them.
Well, you got plenty of opportunities coming that I know, even the ones I know of.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
got
I'm
some
not even going
inside
to tell
scoop,
you.
some
Yeah, I'm
inside
not even going to
information.
tell you.
Oh my goodness.
So many opportunities
Oh, I
coming.
can't wait.
You and
I can't wait.
Amy, action rom-com road trip movie.
Oh, please, my dreams have come true. All right,
That'd be awesome.
2025. I'm manifesting it. It's happening.
Manifest it
And you're going to
away.
direct it.
Ah, please, God. What a dream.
Okay. I know.
You know what's cool about Amy too is that she does the weirdest Jerry Blank show ever and is known for that character, but then is also in like mainstream rom-coms.
Yeah.
Like she's in like Made in Manhattan and Elf
Yep.
and
She's
like
done she's done guest spots on Sex and the City.
yeah, like
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 pretty straightforward ones too, where you're like, oh yeah, she's just doing a regular acting job on the show. Like, what a strange thing. But yeah,
yeah, everybody loves her,
yeah, she's the best.
top to bottom.
Hmm.
Here's an Amy quote. In the first grade, I got my first wig. It was a fall, and I still have it, she says, gesturing to her closet. Since then, I get two wigs for Christmas usually. When I was a kid, I'd go shopping with my dad every Friday night, and I wore a different wig every time I went.
I love it. Well, she still uses a lot of wigs in her comedy. Do you ever see
Okay.
the at home with Amy Sedaris?
Yes.
She'll just be doing basically scenes with herself, just in different wigs.
Hmm.
It's great.
Love a good wig.
Who doesn't love it?
Anyone from a sketch comedy background has to have a lot of wig experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Um, that's what
I
comes
love that
with
she
it.
called it a fall. That's what my mom calls it. That's like an
As I was pulling that quote, I was like, I guess this is a wig term. What does that mean?
older Southern phrase, I think, a fall. So it's sort of it's for you put it on top of your own hair and it falls over it and
Oh,
creates it and makes it longer, I think.
gotcha.
So it's
Okay,
not
that's
like a full
nice.
wig, it's sort of a almost like what they do now with
Blends in with your real hair.
I think so. Or it's like a ponytail and you put it on and it like
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I wanted to just be longer, I could just get a fall,
exactly.
leave
You
my
can get a
front
nice
bangs.
fall. Exactly.
I
Exactly.
was talking about Melissa McCarthy on the last episode, and we were talking about how sometimes she just throws a wig on backwards, and then it gives you a really weird, like a short bang or something.
Yeah. Well,
Just
that's a good idea.
really informs the character. Just
She's so Melissa McCarthy, forget about it. She's the
dreams,
best. I mean, I know you don't
dreams.
have an episode, but yeah, she's
Look, we can talk about her too. We can talk about every. Want to just run through all the eps and
well,
and
I'll
see
tell
if
you.
we like them
I'll tell
all?
you. I watch a thing that I watch regularly is when that blooper from This Is 40, where she just keeps talking about
Hmm.
I kick you in the face with my foot bone, all that. I mean, she just goes off for like 2 minutes straight,
She
and
goes nuts.
yeah, she's
And
hilarious.
I've mentioned this in the podcast the, episode about her, but she talks about how when she's doing that, she goes into a fugue state and she doesn't know what she's saying.
I believe it because she can just go off and
Like
just
she'll
not
do a
stop
thing
talking.
and then like someone will show it to her and she's like, I don't remember any of that.
I, yep, yep.
Isn't
Oh
that
my
incredible?
God.
Just like a
Yeah.
blackout to genius, and then you're like, wow, I was amazing. I was so
I
funny. I'm
believe it.
sorry. I'm
Oh my
back.
God. I totally believe it.
Yeah. It's
That's
kind of
so,
incredible. It looks like that. Like she's just like zoned in on something and she's just like,
she just has such hyper commitment. And so
yeah,
once you do that, you're just off to the races.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have her and Amy been in something? That's a good commitment
Oh my
team.
gosh. I would like them to be in something. Can we make that happen? Yeah, I
Let's
don't know.
pitch it.
I don't think so.
Melissa and her little sister Amy.
Mm-hmm.
Probably their parents have passed and
Sure,
they
sure.
have to go on some type of adventure
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to um get
Bolivia? I thought
Tua.
I don't know. I really don't know. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I didn't hear
I
that. Was
said
that
Bolivia, but I know nothing about
sure? Yeah,
Bolivia.
they have to go to Bolivia because the dad, the parents got married there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the marriage certificate is, and they need that to get the inheritance.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
It's
And
a
then he
little,
and
it's a little wishy-washy, but that's the initial idea.
okay,
But we do have McCarthy and Sedaris attached.
great.
So
So
are
it
you
doesn't even
in?
matter. It doesn't even matter what it's about at this
The
point.
idea doesn't
You can
matter.
spitball ideas all day. It doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
got these
they're
guys
gonna change
attached.
it anyway. They're gonna
Yeah.
have their own ideas.
Yeah. She'll go into her fugue state.
She's
Yep.
fuging,
Yeah.
Amy's jerrying, and
Amy's
then
wearing a lot of falls and yeah, it's perfect.
yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah. Who
Um,
else is on it? Who else people said are funny?
who else? People have said Jan Hooks was my first episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Allison Becker
Sure.
and I talked about Jan Hooks. That's a
Mm,
classic SNLer for you.
sure.
Katharine Hepburn, Shelley Long,
Oh, yeah.
Marissa Tomei,
Oh, yeah.
Coolidge,
Duh.
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yep.
This is just me listing all the episodes. For anyone listening, you can go
I'm so
back.
sorry. Why did I
You
ask you
can
to do this? I'm so
you
sorry.
can you can listen to any of these. If you've enjoyed this so far, go
Mm-hmm.
listen to me talk to other people about Catherine O'Hara,
Oh, my favorite.
Lucille Ball,
Yep.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
Hmm.
Carol Burnett, Joan Rivers, The Golden Girls, just as a
Oh,
series,
of course.
Shirley MacLaine, and Melissa McCarthy.
Holy cow. I mean, that's a list. That
It's a
is
great list, and there's plenty of more women to come and to discuss.
because it was really hard to choose on this
It
because there
is
are
hard to
so many.
choose, and it's almost like I think people are like, does it have to be the person who inspired my whole life? Does it have to be someone I know everything about? But like, no, it's
Yeah.
just who do you love and who can we just
Yeah.
have a combo about?
She was the first person that came to my mind only because I remember just it being such an important thing that I was like, oh my gosh, this is what's funny.
You
You know
also
what I mean?
have her hanging in your home. You have
And
to do
I
it.
do see her every day along with my entire family pictures on the
She's,
wall.
yes, she's your spiritual guide
She
every
is.
time you go to the wall.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's yeah, what do they call that to something? Like a Buddha statue is like a
Oh, talisman? No.
something like that.
Different.
We don't know. We don't
I
know
don't know
what
what
things are
I
called.
went to the University of Florida. Okay, so I don't,
So we can't count on you for any of that
No, no,
terminology or
I'm
something.
not. I'm not.
Florida, my God.
Florida, Jesus. Yeah, I
Is that
know.
was that where well, but that was by college, but if you were moving every 2 years, you don't really have a place that you spent the longest. Do you have one?
Yeah, Florida, because my stepdad retired from the Air Force, so I went to high school and college in Florida.
Florida and now
Yeah,
Los Angeles
yeah,
ranks.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Well,
the person who I lived in South Korea with, Laura, yeah,
Laura, yeah,
she went to high school with you.
I
Right.
know.
Isn't that weird?
Random, we have a friend in common from our childhoods across continents.
Yeah, before we ever knew each other. Isn't that bizarre?
And I hope she's listening because if she's not, then what the hell, you know?
I know. We should say hi. Hi.
And just so you know, this podcast does have listeners across the world. There's
Yeah.
people listening in many countries. There's
Well,
not that many people listening, but there are
but
people in other
but there
countries
are people that, hey, that's all that matters.
It
You
is
are an
worldwide.
international podcast.
It is an international podcast.
Is there
So,
a place that you were surprised by where you were like, wow, they're listening
yeah,
to?
it's like South Africa. There's like many countries like Bolivia, or no, we just talked
Oh,
about
we
Bolivia.
did talk about Bolivia.
Something else in South America was listening. Yeah, there's like many countries
That's
listed.
cool.
It's very cool, and I appreciate everyone listening. I appreciate you, Beth, for coming on and talking about the wonderful Amy Sedaris. I want people to go check out that artist that you mentioned. What was his
Oh,
name again?
yes. His name is Matthew Eichelberger.
That
Matthew Eichelberger, and he has a place on Hillhurst in this store called the Spitfire Girl. And it's in the corner. They gave him like a little gallery in the
so
corner. And he
cool.
does really awesome art. There's like a lot of strange eyeballs.
I'm gonna
There's
try
not
to find him and link him as when I promote this episode because that
because he makes all these really cool taxidermy, funny women art.
it's really
Um,
in line with what I'm doing here. So
yes, exactly. So shout out
gotta
to
gotta
Matthew.
hook up with Michael.
Yes.
And tell me what your Instagram handle is there, Beth.
I am official Beth Dover because Beth Dover was taken. So official Beth Dover. And that's my Instagram.
Great. Follow Beth Dover, follow the podcast, Oh She's Funny podcast. Um, Follow us, subscribe, review, rate, do all the things. It helps the podcast so much. And thanks everybody for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.